Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Weller and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, but actually I'm going to show you a whole lot of Dungeons and Dragons miniatures while I talk and rant and rave and do my normal thing. And today I thought I would pull out every single Goblin miniature that I have and show you what I have. And I have quite a few. And I'm going to start off, now I have a mixture of Goblin miniatures from WizKids, Wizards of the Coast, Pathfinder, as such. Now all of these are just going to be your plastic and rubbery type rather than anything else, if you're all wondering. Anyway, so let's have a look at them, shall we? Starting off with the very first one. It is a Mutant Goblin. It has 3 arms. 3 arms. What's his name? It is, yes, it's called the Goblin-Mutant. I will just turn him around so you can see. Keep my fingers out of the way. I'm trying to wear a black t-shirt to help with the vision. He's got himself a dagger, an axe, and a very nasty serrated looking sword. So here's a pick. Yeah, he's got a pick. Pick something. Okay, next on the list is this is a Snig Wolf Rider. Snig. He's not sniggering. So this one, not quite as good as the other miniature. So the wolf is all right. Not a great paint job. He's got himself an axe. He better be not nestling those legs and knees into that wolf really good, because if he's going to have nothing holding on and hold a two-handed weapon, I feel like he's going to wind up falling off. That's what would normally happen, right? You have to hang on to something, otherwise wolf runs, you fall off. So that's that one. Next on my list is it's the Goblin Commando on a Goblin dog. I don't believe that goblins have dogs, but apparently this one does. This is a Pathfinder miniature. See, the Goblin dog has got sort of dirty legs. Looks like it's been shaved. I suspect that's exactly what's happened. It's probably what goblins do. They get a dog to ride it and they think, oh, it'd be funny, let's just shave the whole thing off, and suddenly it's got nothing. But this one has a saddle, and you can see he's going smart. He's holding on, and he has a single-handed axe rather than a double axe, although I think that axe looks more like it's seen better days. And is it really an axe? It looks a bit weird, actually. He looks very happy though. Next on our list is the Goblin Wolf Rider. No, not all of my goblins are riding wolves. Okay, pretty bad paint job. It's a sort of a black wolf. This came out of, I think, Dungeon Command box. He's got himself a dagger. This goblin, like the last one, smart. He's holding on. He knows if he doesn't, he's going to wind up falling off. And you can see he's quite angry. He's got issues. He hasn't seen his counselor recently, and the dog just looks angry. Well, it's a wolf. It's a wolf, right? It's not a dog. It's a wolf. Don't get confused with that sort of stuff, Fred. Okay, moving on. Next, we're going into Pathfinder. This is a Goblin Warrior. Goblin Warrior. A Goblin Warrior has a dagger, a really stupid-looking cap of some kind. He's got a little pouch on the back there for holding his little coins. It's probably full of copper, though. So I don't think you're going to get a decent haul from this guy. He's got baring his teeth and got really wacky looking eyes. You'll notice with the Pathfinder miniatures and goblins, their heads are kind of exaggerated. Yes, they are. No, don't stop it. Okay, next one is Rita Big Bad. Rita Big Bad. Rita Big Bad has a wonderful flowing hair. I don't know, actually. Is it hair? It's something. She's a caster of some kind. She's got herself what looks like a little stick, but it's supposed to be no, it's not a stick. It's a bow. She shoots things, basically. If it moves, she shoots it. Also, Rita goes to the same dentist as all the other goblins. You can see her teeth are perfectly straight and white. There we go. That's Rita. Next on the list is Pog of Zardogol. It's Pog. This is Pog. Pog's eyes aren't very great. He looks sort of not happy. He's not showing any teeth. He has a dagger and a cloak and a little... What is that on his head? Oh my gosh, I think that's a toad. I think it's supposed to be a toad. I wonder what happens when the toad needs to go. Does he stay on top of the head? And he's wearing what looks like some sort of armor. I'm assuming it's probably, I don't know, an old sock that he's painted silver. Who knows? Next on our list is a Goblin Alchemist. Goblin Alchemist. Here we go. That is the Goblin Alchemist. Now, this alchemist has got some sort of bomb with a sort of see-through thing steaming from it, and what looks like some sort of wacky... I don't even know what is that weapon. Who knows? He looks like he's wearing a... Is that a basket that he's wearing on his head? And he's blue. He's blue. I know. He's blue. Alright. That is the Goblin Alchemist. And then he hurls it. Huh. Next on our list here is Goblin Commando. Goblins have commandos, apparently. Wearing some sort of really weird looking hat. I think it's a skull. I think it's supposed to be the skull of something. And a sort of leather, who knows what it is, who knows. This is a spear, I believe. This is a goblin chick. I'm pretty sure it's a goblin chick. Kind of feel like it is. Obviously, very, very happy about what's about to happen next. All Pathfinder, by the way. Okay, next is the Goblin Archer. Oh, there we go, Goblin Archer. Yet another Pathfinder miniature. He's got himself a bow. He looks incredibly happy, much happier than everybody else. Lots of arrows on the back. I think those are arrows. It looks like he's got 2 sets of quivers. And look, he's so happy. He's like a happy elf. Happy elf. No, he's not. He's a goblin, and they just cause trouble. And he will probably shoot that in your head, in your neck, in your rear place. Yeah, okay. Next, this is Vorka. Vorka is a goblin. Vorka has an old man hat. Looks like an apron. Is wiggling his fingers at you. This sort of suggests that he might be casting magic. He's also got a rather large carving knife. You see the little carving knife there? There we go. That hat almost reminds me of kind of like Santa Claus's hat with like the wide brim without the pom-pom, and it's obviously not white and red. So there we go. Vorka. I don't know what the deal is with a Vorka. Don't ask me the answer to that. Here is a mite. Why am I putting a mite here? Because it seems like a goblin to me. It's got a dagger. It's not a very good dagger. It's got big ears, big head, a bigger nose, a snoz like you wouldn't believe. Wearing a cape. I don't know, what is it with capes? Hasn't everybody been told that capes actually result in premature death? Don't want them. The body and the legs and the head in relation to everything, it looks completely weird. Seems very goblinoid to me. Apparently called a mite though. As long as it's not a dust mite, I don't care. Alright, this is supposed to be a Goblin Delver. Some of you might have seen this before. Not a very good face. It's a bit hard to figure out what the heck you're looking at. But he is loaded up to the eyeballs. He's got like a chest there, a couple of bed rolls, some rope. Looks like some boxes on there. A pack of some kind. Essentially, he is there to cart everybody's junk. And he's going to cart it for as long as he possibly can. He looks like he's pretty happy about it, or at least really, really angry that he wound up having to carry everything. I think that's probably more likely. Goblin Delver. Alright, that wasn't a Pathfinder miniature, by the way. I think that was a Wizards of the Coast. Goblin War Chanter. There's the Goblin War Chanter. You can see he's trying to sing. Lovely, lovely display of tongue there. And the teeth look less scary. I believe the teeth here may not have gone to the same dentist. Big ears. I don't know if they rotate, but possibly. Got a bow and a quiver on the back there. He's looking very brown. I feel like he'd be quite capable. That sword is sort of a little bit wacky, I have to say. I guess it's more like a meat cleaver than anything else. He would certainly blend into his environment really well. Hiding in trees and so forth. Not an issue. Should be fine. Okay, moving on. Next is probably one you're familiar with. This is a Goblin Fighter, and I think based off the artwork from the starter set, from the Dungeons and Dragons 5e starter set. He has a sword. It's a short sword. He's got big ears. The paint job is terrible. The boots are weird, and it looks like, no, they're not boots. That's right, they're just ankle huggers. Maybe he's just wearing like wrist and ankle weights to strengthen himself up so he's strong enough to deal with the next group that come along and beat his mates to pieces and take all their stuff. It's possible. I feel like this is sort of like the the goblin who's into exercise and goes jogging with the arm and leg weights, possibly. Okay, moving on. This is supposed to be a blue. And blue is in fact blue. It's a caster of some kind. Is it a goblin? I feel like it is a goblin. It may not be a goblin. It has a some sort of hairstyle I can't identify. I wouldn't say anything. Nothing sort of suggests that this is your standard goblin. I feel like it's got large teeth. It's sort of like a combination of orc and goblin, but just reduced in size with a fancy looking stick. I don't think it's used to hit people with, though. I don't think that's the case. All right, that's the blue. See you later. Blue's gone. All right, this is a Archaean Goblin. Archaean Goblin has a shield and a meat cleaver. And look, he's showing all of his motivation. It's just like I'm going to chop you up. That is the Archaean Goblin. And full plate armor. Ho ho! Good luck getting through him. Wouldn't that really suck? Oh, you're facing a goblin. What's its armor class? 20? No, it couldn't be. It is 20. It's the Archaean Goblin. This is the Silent Wolf Goblin. It's a silent. Here we go. The Silent Wolf Goblin is going 2 hands, 2 weapon fighting, dark cloak, hard to spot at night, a skull cap of some kind that doesn't really make an awful lot of sense, but certainly feels like partly a fan that's been attached to a skull cap that's made of metal, and of course 2 short swords. And he's ready. He's coming. He's coming in the night. His facial expression is terrible. I know the paintwork looks awful as well, but hey, that's not the issue. Well, maybe it is. Okay, so next one is the Goblin Blackblade. Goblin Blackblade. Here we go. One Goblin Blackblade. He has a short sword. He looks unimpressed. Leave me alone. I'm not ready. He's squatting. He looks like he's about to do something. And he doesn't have a cape. Good for him. And some sort of, I think it's leather armor. And a skull cap made out of leather as well. Of course, why not? He probably can't afford anything else. But he does look like he's constipated just a little bit. There we go. There is the Goblin Blackblade. Okay, next on our list is the Goblin Cutter. I've got many of these videos. This was many of these miniatures. These particular miniatures here, this one is the best one I could find with the best definition and the best paint job, and I know that still doesn't say very much. He's got a dagger. He looks like he's trying to eat flies, and the pose is sort of shows a commitment to stab, but also trying to give you tongue at the same time. See? I mean, you can't see the tongue completely, but I feel like it is definitely trying to poke its tongue out at you as it tries to stab you. And all dressed in brown, blends in quite nicely with a forest. Okay, so next we have the Goblin Champion. There's a Goblin Champion. This is part of the, I believe it's the Dungeon Command box. So he's got a big double-handed axe that he's going to come down on somebody and chop him up. You can barely see his teeth. He's like, stay put while I swing this thing at you above my head. And wearing some sort of leather armor, no shoes, and he seems to have the proverbial the leg and ankle weights as well as the last one we saw as well. Not a great paint job. Okay, next on our list is the Goblin Pleader. And I think it is a Goblin Pleader. No. It can't be a Pleader. That doesn't make it. Impaler? Piercer? I think it's a Piercer. Goblin Piercer. That face is like, there's no detail there at all. It's just been painted one colour. That's it. And he has a spear. He looks like he's going flounder fishing, and he's got a couple of long, I don't know if those are swords or spears. I suspect that's like a javelin or a spear of some kind. Is that a rope that is dangling from him? It does appear to be. I hope he understands that if he ties the rope to something and onto himself, he can't get very far, unless of course it's connected to the javelin, so he can pull you in once he's thrown it at you. Terrible paint job, all in brown. Yes, I'm not impressed, but anyway, that's the piercer. Next we have the Goblin Skull Cleaver. Goblin Skull Cleaver, here we go, there he is. Commitment with one dagger. Is it even a dagger? It's like a mini scythe. He's got himself a cloak, so he's planning to perish early. Some sort of skull on top of his head. No real significant detail on him. No real muscle definition. Kind of looks like he's under the weather, and not very many clothes. I don't think he really needs them. Yeah. Who would be convinced? I wouldn't be. Not really. Okay, so next, more Dungeon Command goblins. This is a Goblin Archer. Got a whole bunch of these things. Not a great paint job, really fast. Yeah, he's got a shield there, he's got a quiver, he's got a black sort of funny looking hat. Not a great, you can't see much definition there, no, can you? No, you can't. And I don't know what's dangling from in front of him, but it doesn't look right at all. Okay, so is he wearing armor? Is he wearing leather armor? I think it's up for debate. I think there's some sort of armor there, but probably not a lot. Okay. Next on my list is this is the hard one, Loft bound Goblin. I'm assuming that Loft bound Goblin means dedicated to Loft and spiders. Is that I don't know, is it a pick? Is it a bent tool? Is he just angry? Why is he purple and he's wearing brown? Fantastic paint job, as you can see. You can only barely make out the straps on the back because, of course, they haven't been painted in place. And he's got big ears. Looks more like a gremlin. I feel like this is Gremlin. Gizmo's given birth to more. Okay, so next one, and I believe this may be the last one. This is a Goblin Sharpshooter. Goblin Sharpshooter. Here we go. Goblin Sharpshooter. He has a crossbow. Yes, he does. You can barely tell because it blends in with the rest of his body so well, and you can barely make out the eyes. There's these little eyes and teeth there. Maybe you can see them. He's got some bolts strapped on the back there, all in grey. Blends in nice with a stone wall. Maybe works all right in a forest. I feel it's a blend in with a stone wall sort of effect going on here. So essentially, that's him. Okay, so that's all of my goblins. I'm going to come back to this one because I just like it more. And it's a mutant. So if you found this entertaining, great, please share and like the video. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing to my channel, hitting the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos, which I do from time to time. Actually, there's usually a video up every single day, but some of them are old videos. I totally understand that. Now, if you want to support my channel, you supported my channel by watching this video, and thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I have hundreds more videos. You're welcome to go and check them out as well. I don't do Patreon, and I don't plan to do Patreon for 2019, but I do have affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon down in the description where you can buy stuff online. I get a small commission and you pay exactly the same price, and that helps me continue making videos on this channel, and I do appreciate when you do that. So let me know while you're in the chat and in the if you're commenting because you're not part of the live chat, but let me know in the live chat what is your favorite miniature that I've shown you today. Tell me which one it is. I would like to know. Maybe there's a goblin miniature that I don't have that you would like to talk about and discuss. I'm happy to do that as well. What is the goblin? I'm going to one more question. What is the goblin habit that disturbs you the most? What is the goblin habit that disturbs you the most? I feel that shaving dogs is definitely way up there. That's my opinion. But anyway, that is my video for today. And if you're not part of the live stream, that's what the comment section's all about. And otherwise, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.